Let's see. Dino, do you remember one?
To tell how to make something.
Entertain.
To entertain.
Something that is funny.
Well, it can be funny or just fun to read. Okay, something that we read for enjoyment. Mitzi?
To inform.
To inform. Okay, and when we inform, what are we reading about?
Read about information about something.
Information about something. We're getting facts and examples.
Purpose.
Well, we're trying to list the different purposes. So we have inform.
Persuade. To tell what's meaning.
No, inform would be to tell the meaning of something. A persuasion article would have something along the lines of, I think, or you should, we all should.
To do something.
Yep. So when we are writing to persuade, you want someone to think a certain way or to do a certain thing or to agree with you. Okay, so we have inform, that's facts and examples. Describe. Entertain is for enjoyment, or persuade is try to get someone to think or do something. Story we read yesterday. So the top part, we have 3 text evidence boxes. So these are going to be the reasons that we think the author, or why the author wrote the story. Okay, so these are going to be clues that we come up with from the story that tell us why the author wrote this story. So those are going to be our text evidence boxes. And then the purpose. So the purpose is when an author is writing a text, he or she knows what purpose they're writing for. So they know at the beginning if they're going to write to entertain, if they're going to write to inform or persuade. So they keep that in mind the entire time they're writing. And then it lets you know what to expect when you are reading a text. So let's look at our story about Jose. So let's go back a few pages. Okay, so we know our story is Jose, born to dance. So on page 291, what did we learn about Jose? Can you tell me something that we learned about Jose?
Jose is born in 1908 in Culiacan, Mexico.
Okay, so I want us to look at page 291. So this page over here.
Sometimes Papa took Jose to the theater where Papa worked as a musician.
Is that going to give us a clue? That sentence specifically, is that going to give us a clue to the author's purpose? Okay. Sometimes Papa took Jose to the theater where Papa worked as a musician. Jose loved to watch the dancers on the stage. The can-can dancers lifted their petticoats and kicked their legs. Ooh la la. The flamenco dancers flipped their skirts and clicked their heels. See, see, see. The ballet dancers leapt into the air. Raising their arms high above their heads, they seemed to fly. Ah. One afternoon, Papa took Jose to the Corrida de Toros. In the bullfight ring, a torero swirled his red cloak to anger the black bull. Olé, olé, olé. The bull pawed the ground. It ran straight towards the bullfighter, its head down and its eyes ablaze. Jose gripped Papa's hand. So what do we learn about Jose from these 4 paragraphs?
He was born in 1908.
Okay, so is that the part that I just read?
Papa took Jose to the theater where Papa worked as a musician. Yes.
Out of all those.
No. Later that night when Mama took Jose into bed.
Sarah, what do we learn about Jose?
He really loves music.
Mm-hmm. He loves music. Okay, what else do we learn about Jose here?
He loves to see dancers dance.
Okay, so Jose loved to watch the dancers on the stage. Our graphic organizer. So in our text evidence 1 box, we'll put Jose loved to watch the dancers on stage at the theater where his father worked. Okay, so that's one part of our text evidence. So let's go back and see if we can find some more. Okay, so we know that Jose moved to New York and he wanted to be an artist. Pizza, was Jose able to be an artist?
Many people say he draw very well, but he never became an artist.
Okay, so we know he never became an artist. Okay, thank you, Pizza. So, Chimai, what happened instead? Instead of being an artist, what did Jose do?
Ending job as a janitor.
Okay, so after that, at the bottom here, it says, one day, Jose's friend Charlotte invited him to a dance concert. The dancer twisted his body and leapt into the air. The dance lit a fire in Jose's soul. So what happened next after he decided he wasn't going to be an artist?
He was going to be a dancer.
Okay, so we know he wanted to be a dancer. And Kent, up here on the top of page 296, remember we summarized this paragraph yesterday? What did we learn about Jose from this paragraph? From then on, Jose took classes from teachers Doris Humphrey and Charles Weidman nearly every day. Dripping with sweat, he struggled with his stiff and stubborn body. And at night, he hobbled home, his muscles sore and aching. So what do we learn about Jose from this page, Kent?
Jose is working very hard, practicing very hard
To become what?
to become he want to become the singer.
What did he want to become?
Dancer.
A dancer. Okay, good job. And then at the end of our story, all right, what do we learn about, so we know he studied dance for 11 years. And what do we learn about Jose towards the end of our story? What do we learn about Jose at the bottom 2 paragraphs? Can you see them?
He was practicing very hard.
Okay, so we already have that. So what ended up happening to Jose? Was he able to become a famous?
He became a world famous choreographer, and he toured the globe with his own dance company for 40 years.
You can say Jose became a world famous choreographer and said danced professionally for 40 years. All right, so we have our 3 pieces of text evidence about Jose that we learned from this story. So Jose loved to watch the dancers on stage at the theater where his father worked. So with all 3 of these clues, what can we determine that the author's purpose for writing this story? To persuade, to explain, to inform, or to entertain?
To inform.
To inform, okay. So it's probably to inform. We know we're getting facts and information about a topic. James, are you there?
Yes.
And what is the author informing us about? What is our topic for this story? It said the author wants to inform readers about what?
About the story.
About what story?
Jose learned to dance.
Okay.
Learned to dance.
About Jose's life and how he came to be a dancer. All right. So then we also need to think, what does the author think about Jose and about Jose's story? Many people become dancers. Why is Jose special? What do you think the author wants you to learn about Jose? Or what do you think the author wants you to take away from Jose's story? Mm-hmm. So we already know that the author wants to inform readers about Jose's life and how he came to be a dancer. Why do you think the author chose Jose's story over another dancer's story? What's important about Jose?
Practice very hard.
Mm-hmm. Guy, what else did we learn about Jose at the beginning of his life? Was it easy or difficult? About Jose yesterday?
Yes.
So at the beginning of Jose's life, was it very easy for him or did he have a difficult time? Jose had a difficult time growing up. Remember, there was war in his country. He had to move to the United States. He didn't speak English that well. The kids made fun of him. Okay? And then he worked very hard to become a dancer. So what does the author want us to know? Do you know?
He wants us to know, or she wants us to know that we have to work hard to achieve what we want.
Another thing we can say with author's purpose. The author wants the readers to know that if you work hard, you will be successful in life. Okay, but C says yes, Mid A says yes. Chao says yes. Okay. So we can look for clues in our story, like the text evidence that we found, and then think, what does the author think about the topic? Why did the author choose to write about this particular topic? And then we can figure out more about the story and about the topic. All right, now we're going to talk about similes and metaphors. So both of these are examples of figurative language. So language that can sometimes have different meanings than what is written down exactly on the page. So who remembers the meaning of a simile? I know we've learned about this before. Can anyone tell me what the word simile means? Tuot Meng?
A simile is words that are compared together, like with the word as, like.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So a simile is a comparison between two things using the words like or as. Okay, so those are our clue words here. We know it's a simile if we see the words like and if we see the words as in them, if they're comparing two things. If we don't see those two words, it is not a simile. All right, what about metaphor? Who can tell me the meaning of the word metaphor? Maggie, do you know it?
A metaphor is to compare two things, but compare them directly. Do not use the word. Use the comparison word.
Mm-hmm. So a metaphor is when you're talking about one thing as if it were something else. Okay, so we're not using the words like or as in our metaphors. We're saying one thing is something else. It's not like something else, it is something else. So P, if you were to guess, which one would be stronger, a simile or a metaphor?
I think simile.
What do you think?
Similar.
Sorry, say again, P?
I think it will be a metaphor.
Okay, so you think a metaphor is stronger? Yes, I agree with you. So metaphors are stronger because we're not saying this is like this. We're saying this is this, right? So let's look at some examples. So we have two pictures here. For our simile one, can anyone think of a simile they've heard that has to do with a pie? Pizza, tell me.
Cake.
Is that a simile?
No, a cake is like a pie.
Okay, so you're talking about things that are actually similar to each other. We're talking about figurative. So what is a pie taste like? What's the taste of pie?
There are lots of flavors like but pie tastes like bread.
Okay, but would you say a pie is it salty? Is it sweet? Is it sour? Is it bitter? Say again?
A pie is sweet.
A pie is sweet. So who knows a simile that has to do with pie and being sweet? Mid A?
A pie is sweet like a cake.
Close, but not quite. Maggie, do you know it?
Sweet as a pie.
Yep. So if you say something is as sweet as pie, that means, so we can use the word sweet to mean nice or kind. So if I said Maggie is as sweet as pie, that means she is very nice and sweet, right? So I'm not actually saying Maggie is a pie. She doesn't look like a pie. I'm saying she's nice and kind and very sweet. Sweet as pie. Okay. Now, what about a metaphor? Let's look at this picture here. Also, notice the fact that we have our clue simile word as sweet as pie. So let's look at our metaphor picture. What does this look like? Richard, what does this picture look like under the metaphor category?
A small person fixing a watch.
Okay, maybe a small person fixing a watch. Does anyone have any other ideas? Say, Jon Snow, what do you think's happening in this picture on the right?
On the right,
Yep, you see it with a watch.
the watch is on a man.
It's on a man. And what do you think has happened to the man underneath the watch?
The man is fixing the clock, but the watch, but he don't know, and the clock is on him.
And what might happen if a big old watch was on you like that, if it fell on you?
It's very like don't like.
You don't like? Okay. Thank you, Jon Snow. Okay, so this metaphor is killing time. Okay? So when we say killing time, Minnie, do I actually mean I'm going to take my tools like a hammer and I'm going to go and break a watch or break a clock?
No.
No. What do you think I might mean when I say killing time?
Means spend many time.
Okay. I'm going to give you an example sentence and see if you can figure out the meaning from the sentence. I had an hour before I had to go to school. So I walked around the shop killing time.
Waste time.
Yep. maybe I don't have anything to do, so I'm just walking around. I have nothing important to do. I'm wasting time waiting for something more important to do. Okay, so we don't actually mean someone's breaking a clock, but we use it to make our writing or to make how we speak more interesting and more colorful. Okay, so now that we know the difference between similes and metaphors, should we play a game? All right, Feng Dao. Franklin has a heart of gold.
Franklin has a heart of gold is a metaphor.
Okay, good job. All right, Boo. She's as cool as a cucumber.
Simile.
Simile. What's your clue word here that it's a simile?
As a cucumber.
We have our clue word as. Okay, good job. All right, Tuệ Meng. Her music is like music. Sorry, her voice is like music to my ears.
Her voice is like music to my ears is simile.
And what's your clue there?
The word like.
The word like. Okay, good job. Okay. No, I still can't hear. Okay, let's see. Elsa. He has a heart of a lion.
He has a heart of a lion is a metaphor.
0. Mary's voice is music to my ears.
Mary's voice is music to my ears. I think it's a metaphor.
Her heart is like gold.
It's a simile.
A simile. What's your clue word there, Hen?
Like.
All right, Dino. The world is my stage.
It is a metaphor.
Okay, so we'll say this one is a metaphor.
They ate like pigs is a simile.
A simile. What's your clue word there?
Like.
Like. Okay, good job. You are my sunshine.
Metaphor.
Chi. He's a walking encyclopedia.
Metaphor? What is the thing encyclopedia thing?
Encyclopedia is a book that tells you facts about everything. It's like a dictionary, but instead of telling you the meanings, it tells you facts about a topic. What?
My mom is a dictionary for me.
Kent. He crept in as quiet as a mouse.
Smiley.
Simile, yes, is a simile. What's your clue word here? Have either the word like or the word as in them. Do you see either of those words in the
I
sentence?
see the word, choose the word as.
Her eyes sparkle like diamonds.
Simile.
Simile, okay.
We love someone.
Yep, so when you say you are my sunshine, you're just telling someone, I love you a lot. Okay, good job, easy. What about, he has a heart of a lion? Do I mean that he killed a lion, took out its heart, and put it in his own body?
No,
What do I mean instead?
he's brave.
So he has the heart of a lion. All that means is he is very brave. She's as cool as a cucumber. Jon Snow, are you there? If I say she's as cool as a cucumber, do I mean that she's cold, like a cucumber that's been in the fridge?
No.
What's what I mean instead? She's as cool as a cucumber. Am I the meaning cool? Am I meaning cold?
Cool.
Does he look like he's worried about anything?
No.
No. So she's as cool as a cucumber. She must be.
Very, very, very cool.
You think she's like very cold?
Very cool. Mad.
She's not mad. She's not worried about anything. And he's a walking encyclopedia. I mean by this? Am I talking about a book with legs?
No.
What do I mean instead?
I mean, he is smart like a encyclopedia.
Good job. When I say he's a walking encyclopedia, all I mean here is he is very smart. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about similes and metaphors? So now we're going to look at some metaphors. Actually, before we do this, he's a walking encyclopedia. P, is this a simile or a metaphor? So is it a simile?
A metaphor.
Okay, so if we wanted to change from a metaphor to a simile, how could we do that?
We could add the words as or like.
Okay, can you say the new sentence as a simile?
He is like a walking encyclopedia.
All right, so all we need to do was add the word like. He's like a walking encyclopedia. And that's how we change it from metaphor to a simile. Okay. Say, what about she's as cool as a cucumber? Oh, that's not a good example. Let's do you are my sunshine. How could we change this from a metaphor to a simile? How could we change this from a metaphor to a simile? How could we change the metaphor, you are my sunshine, to a simile? Remember, what do we need for a phrase to be a simile?
You are
Okay, so all we need to do is add the word like. You are like my sunshine, and now it is a simile. Okay, good job. So, Sky, if I have the phrases, you are my sunshine, and you are like my sunshine, which one of these two is stronger, has stronger meaning?
You are like my sunshine.
Has stronger meaning?
Yeah.
So if I say you are like my sunshine, I'm saying you're similar to. But if I say you are my sunshine, that means you are actually my sunshine. So which one do you think has stronger meaning?
You are my sunshine.
So remember, our metaphors have stronger meaning than similes do. All right, so let's look at some examples from the book. He would fill his sketchbooks with drawings like none the world had ever seen. He took a job as a janitor, scooping out. Do we think, is Jose actually in a jungle with trees and stones and birds, but everything's made out of stone?
No,
So what do we think he means by this?
I think he means that there's a lot of stone.
Stone from what?
Stone from the jungle.
So New York is just filled with stones from the jungle.
People.
Are the people made out of stones?
No.
What material or what objects might be made out of similar materials to stones?
Some art pieces.
So New York is just filled with art pieces made out of stone?
No.
What is there a lot of in New York?
Tower.
Towers. And what are towers made out of?
Bricks.
Bricks. So that's similar to stone, right?
Yes.
We could say there are many tall towers and buildings in New York. Okay. So New York is a jungle of stone. Just means that New York has many tall buildings and towers. It seems like a jungle of stone. New York is a cemetery. What do we think the author means by New York is a cemetery? Ming Chao?
I think it is boring.
Boring. Okay, what else? Do you think at a cemetery, is it very like nice and friendly and welcoming?
Not welcome.
New York is not very welcoming. It's not very, we'll say, nice and welcoming. Okay. And our last one. Jose floated down the sidewalk. Richard, when we said Jose floated down the sidewalk, did he turn into a ghost and he's now floating over the sidewalk? What do we think the author means by this?
He walked softly.
If you're floating, does it take a lot of effort?
No.
So we'll say Jose walked softly and without much effort. So why do we think the author said this? Do you think Jose is in a is he very excited about being in New York at this time, or does he feel discouraged at this time? Mitzi, what do you think? If someone's floating down the sidewalk, is he or she excited or discouraged?
Excited.
Excited. So remember, this is when he first got to New York. He's very excited to start to be an artist. He's floating down the sidewalk, no cares in the world. Does everything make sense? Okay, so for homework today, you're going to do pages 109 and 110 in your reader's notebook. Okay, so page 109 says, Jose's performance was like. A simile is a type of figurative language that compares two things using like or as. Read page 296. List 3 similes the author uses to describe Jose's dancing. Okay, so you're going to look at page 296. Let's see. Yep, so this page here, and find 3 similes that the author uses to describe Jose's dancing, and write them on that page. Okay, and then on page 110, imagine you are a reporter and have attended one of Jose Limon's performances. Use the similes you found on page 296. Write a review of Jose's performance. A review tells what is good and what is bad about something. What might the reporter say about Jose's career? All right, so you're going to pretend that you've just seen his performance, and you're going to tell in an article if it was good or bad. All right, does anyone have questions about this? Pizza, tell me.
Miss Lisa, I don't have a reader's notebook. Can you send the link for the online book?
Yes, so Pizza needs it. Does anyone else need the reader's notebook sent home?
Me.
I just heard you. I said anyone else. Bill, do you need the reader's notebook sent home?
Yes. I had lost it.
Okay, so Bill also needs it. Okay, who else? Let's see. Okay, I think we'll just send the link home in the report today, so everyone will get it. And that will save us some time. Also, some people have not finished the test. So I think Kent, Twitming, and Boo, you need to double check that you've done the test. I don't think that you have. Yes, Twitming?
I submit the test already.
When did you submit it?
I don't know, but Miss Me said she see my test already.
Already? Okay. So then, okay, so Boo's good too. So it's just Kent. Where's Kent? Kent, where are you? There's too many people in this room. Okay, so just Kent will need to submit the test. Okay, should we do live quizzes? Okay, we're just gonna do classic today, because you guys have Vietnamese in 15 minutes. All right, 370359. Yes, Tuệ Minh?
We don't have Vietnamese today.
Oh, really? How come?
We only learn from Monday to Tuesday. Yeah.
Only Monday and Tuesday?
Monday to Thursday.
Okay, so should we just go ahead and do another lesson then for another hour with me?
Nope.
Hen, do you have a question?
No.
No? Okay. Ciro, do you have a question?
Why I had At first, I think none of your beeswax is like a metaphor, but well, I think it's an idiom.
Yeah, I
None
think
of
so
your
too.
beeswax
What does none of your beeswax mean?
means that it's not your problem.
None of your business, none of your beeswax. Is that a very nice thing to say to someone or not so nice?
That's so nice.
It's not, it's kind of rude to say. Not so nice. Okay. All right, I'm going to unmute so you guys can chat with each other for the next 5 or so minutes.
Alo, alo la everyone. Alo la everyone. Ola u, ola i.
Xin nó gọi mình tên là Xin nó gọi nói ổn không? Tí nữa tớ dùng máy của Minh Phương được không?
Ming Chao, do you have a question?
I can't connect to quiz.
Is
They said an error is occurred. Please try again. Error code.
Why don't you try to refresh or reload that page?
Okay.
Lily, do you have a question?
Today when you asked me, you didn't unmute me, and I have a question.
Yes, tell me.
My screen here timed out.
Is that the quizzes?
Yes.
Try to reload the page. Do you see the circle with the arrow at the end?
Yes.
Next to the website part?
Yes.
Okay, hit that and see what happens.
Well, it goes again.
Con có bảo cô vừa xong cô tắt mic của con không? Cô bảo nào?
It is loading.
Okay, see what happens then. All right, I'm going to start the game, but you can still join even after I've...
Miss Lisa, please
Yes.
look at this.
Okay, you'll just have to try and hit refresh again. I can't help you from over here.
Okay.
I think a problem with the quizzes website.